are listening to LOA Recon with the Good Vibe coach Jeanette Ma, where we dissect the ins and outs and the art and science of conscious creation, all intended to amp up your manifesting game. Let's have some fun together. Welcome and thank you for tuning in for another episode. I was inspired to sit down and record this one after reading a fabulous comment from Alex at the blog that reads, I don't think I tell you often enough how much, it's capitalized, how much I enjoy your podcasts, 2 exclamation points. They are the best, 4 exclamation points. I'm so thankful. I'm so very thankful for your decision to post 1 a week. Your laughter and positive attitude are absolutely contagious and the content is pure gold. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alex, thank you for that comment, especially because I'd been wondering about what the overall tone of my episodes are. Sometimes I seem like I complain. Does it? Does it seem like I complain a lot? In fact, this episode, I tried not to record it because it didn't seem very nice to be talking about my loved ones in this way. But when I tried to do different subjects, I couldn't. They didn't work. So I just thought, all right, I got to do this one before I can move on to something else. Especially once I saw how I'm doing the same thing. Yeah, it was easier to share because it doesn't feel like I'm judging someone else for anything I don't do my own self, it turns out. So here we go. The other day, my girlfriend was so upset. She was emotionally upset, but it manifested physically. She was literally sick to her stomach. She vomited. She had a headache. She was a wreck. She was so not feeling good. She left a house-sitting gig to go back home. I filled in for her on her house-sitting gig. Okay, I'm smiling because it was really cool for me to be able to do this because she was in charge of a bunch of chickens and a donkey and Charlie. Okay, so I didn't mind filling in. It was my joy. But I wanted to help her feel better. So I asked her why she was so upset and she told me it was primarily, and this might sound ridiculous to a lot of people, but those of you who are super sensitive, especially about animals, will understand it. I certainly did. This donkey, she's only a year old. She's in this big pasture all by herself because she had been there with her mom and her horse friends, but they all were removed from the property. I guess they're off getting bred somewhere. It's a breeder who's leasing property. Anyway, so this baby donkey was left by herself, and she was just braying and braying. She's just so lonely. At least that was my girlfriend's take on it, that she was super lonely. She might not be wrong. But she was also upset because her hooves were so long, they needed trimming so bad she couldn't even stand properly on her feet. Like, I guess they must grow really fast because she's not that old, but yeah, I didn't notice that until my girlfriend pointed it out. And she was also upset because, it's been super hot and there's no shade. She doesn't have any company. She said her coat is so dirty. She can't even pet her without clouds of dirt. She was upset. And I wanted her to feel better. So I jumped into action. Proper muggle that I am. I made some inquiries about her hooves, and I found someone who could do it for free immediately. Come on, that's cool manifesting. And I texted the owner for permission, even though a couple people had said to me, owner's probably going to get mad, probably not going to be happy that someone's getting in her business, thinking she's not taking proper care of her animals, etc., etc. But no, the owner was just fabulous. She was grateful. She had capital letters and exclamation points in the text thanking me for arranging it because she'd had trouble finding someone who would come do the mini donkeys. She's a miniature donkey coming to do her hooves. So anyway, so we had her hooves trimmed that night. And I sent her pictures. Oh, and I hung out in the pasture with this donkey for an hour, which was my joy. It was so fun. And I brushed her. And she had shade. She had shade at different times of the day. It's in different places. It's not all hot. Anyway. Oh, and we took Clyde and Whiskey over, our horses over, just to say hi. And guess what? The donkey didn't want to say hi. She didn't want to make new horse friends. Clyde's pretty big. He can be intimidating. And Clyde was super curious. Anyway, I sent her pictures of all this to show her she could feel better now because, it's getting handled. We're taking care of it. It's better. And she didn't feel better at all. She texted me back. She texted me back saying some things like, yeah, but did you find out when her mom's coming back and when the other horses will be there? And did you give her a bath? She just wasn't having it. Here's all these great reasons to feel better. She was not feeling better at all. Not at all. And I realized, well, duh, of course she can't feel better because she's doing upset. So it doesn't matter what I do. When she's having a different vibration, action can't overcome the vibration. The vibration will always rule. And apparently she'd been practicing upset enough that she had physical manifestations of it that in fact, upset stomach. I couldn't make her feel better. And I realized that routine of trying to make someone feel better doesn't work. And expecting that good things are going to happen when you're so good at feeling bad, that's conscious creators know that doesn't work. Kind of like, so here's the other story of my loved one that I was hesitant to tell. He has had some medical issues. He's been going to the doctor for a couple weeks, and he came back yesterday kind of mad that they aren't seeming to solve anything. Like, they still don't have anything definitive to tell him about what it is or what he should do about it. All they want to do is keep taking tests. And he's tired of tests. He wants answers. He wants solutions. He wants a diagnosis. He wants improvement. So he was talking about how he's done with this doctor. He's going to look for a new one. And I thought, but so wisely kept to myself, I thought, you know what? That's probably not going to help. You don't need a new doctor. You need a new vibration. Because a new doctor, if you show up with that same vibration, it's not going to be any different. But you know what? I'm not his coach, and he didn't ask my opinion, so I kept it to myself because I'm not the vibration police. I got to remind myself regularly. Although if there were a job like that, I'd probably do pretty good at it. Okay. So, I learned from the donkey situation with my friend. It doesn't matter how much you trim their hooves or how much time you spend or how many videos you share. This donkey's got company. They're going to feel however they choose to feel. The best I can do is mind my own feeling business. That's the best I can do. And you know what the truth is? That maybe a new doctor will give my friend a reason to believe or to expect better. So it might make a difference for him. I don't know. Sometimes taking action does enhance our belief or our positive expectation enough that we do get good results. But a lot of times they're temporary. If it's been a dominant vibration, that old one, it's going to take hold sooner or later. Because it's the vibration that makes the difference, not the action. The doctor can't solve it for you if you're not in the vibration of solutions. When you're in the vibration of no solutions, mad that they can't figure it out, mad, I'd hate to be a doctor and have that person walk through my doors. And this is why I tell so many clients who are drawing clients into their world that you want to be really well focused on who your perfect clients are, because it's really frustrating to have someone show up in your world who isn't a match to what you deliver or what you want to deliver. I like how Joe Dispenza described this. He was talking about how, I listened to an interview the other day, when you take a pill, he was talking specifically when you take a placebo pill. But you know what? Probably everything is a placebo. In fact, didn't he write that book? Didn't he write a book, You Are the Placebo? I'm pretty sure he did. Pretty sure I loved it. I'm pretty sure it was Joe. Anyway, when you take a placebo pill, he was saying your body creates the chemicals it needs in order to create the effect that you're expecting. I think he said it like that. Let me actually look it up because I liked it so much I wrote it down. Hang on, I can find it real quick here. Okay, he said, they take the pill and their body creates the chemicals to create the results they expect will happen. Oh my gosh, I love that so much. We're the magic, not the pills. And I'm not opposed to taking pills. I'm not opposed. If that's your inspiration, by all means do it, but don't do it without the vibration of what you want, because they can't give you what you are not the vibration of. Not the doctors, not the pills, not the donkey hoof trimmers, not the bank account, not the body. It can't give me what I'm not the vibration of. This is actually good news too, because it means when the rest of the world is in chaos, but we're doing peace, we're insulated from that chaos. Like when you're doing love and they're doing hate, you get a different reality than they do, a different experience of reality. Remember my crackhead neighbor? How I was in battle with him for 3 months before I realized I'm not going to find peace in this war. It took me a while. It was many, many years ago, to my credit. Many, many years ago, but it did. I was in that routine for a while, battling him before I realized there can't be peace when I'm in battle. And remember how when I activated, it wasn't just peace. It was peace, quiet, appreciation, and love. That's what was missing. That's what I wanted. So I dialed on those vibrations. I got really specific about activating them in a variety of ways. And because I thought, when I become all these good vibrations, he'll be gone from my world, because he can't, when he's being hate and anger and violence and all that dark stuff, he can't be in my world of peace, love, quiet, and appreciation. But remember how surprised I was? It didn't poof him out of my world. It transformed him for me, not for my neighbors. For me, he became generous and supportive and friendly and kind. Oh my gosh, it was for me though. The rest of my neighbors still had the old version of him. Isn't that amazing? So I was thinking about how I'm doing this or I'm seeing it. I had been doing it, and I'm still seeing it in my community now, about how pretty much everyone I talk to, everyone who posts in our local group, seems really opposed to more development. They got strong words. And I'm thinking, wow, how do we think anything that is good is going to happen for us when we're so insistent on being upset about it? And I know most of them are not conscious creators. They don't understand about vibration, but I do, and I can do my part for my reality, and I have made really good progress on not being so mad about it. Really good progress. In fact, I got more to go, but oh man, I've taken ground. And it's resulted in a suspicious lack of development around me. Like they can't get the permits, the concrete's unavailable, or it's ridiculously expensive, or they move the location completely to a place where I can't even see it, or the builders are deciding, we're going to wait until next year, or they're having trouble with water rights. It's like the more I relax about it, the more universe relaxes with me. I just love how this works. Don't you? Don't you love it too? Anyway, when I say we, with the community being upset about it, I know that's a party I can opt out of, because I create my reality and they create theirs. So we each get to have our own, and everyone gets to have whatever they're having. I don't have to be stuck with theirs, and they don't have to experience mine unless we change our minds. As long as I don't get caught up in their pushing against routine, which is easy for me to do if I'm not paying attention. Look, I've been known to lead the way sometimes. I'm getting better every day. It's one of my favorite affirmations. I'm getting better at this every day. But it's the same thing with money manifesting or body manifesting in my reality. I can't get what I'm not dialed on. When I'm saying, it's good enough, or could be worse, that's where it stays. That's what it's got to be. But when I say, wowza, now that's what I'm talking about, then that's where it goes. That's where my reality goes. This is so much fun. They can't give us what we're not the vibration of. So whatever you want, it's smart of us to find the vibration first. And whatever you don't want, move yourself to the do-want side of that equation. When you don't want, I'm not even going to actually name the things that we don't want. That's how much I'm not going to activate it for any of us. You know what you don't want, or at least when you are aware of it, use that as your cue to shift your attention to what you do want. Spend some time with that and watch the world morph to please you It's such a cool routine. I hope you're having fun with it. I sure am. Thanks for listening, everyone. I hope you got some good inspiration in this episode, and happy manifesting.